Yeah.
What the hell were you going to talk about?
I met a new dude today.
Yeah?
Their name is Lance.
Uh-huh.
They work at the checkout at your grocery store, and they've
My
got
grocery store?
at any grocery store in the world.
What's their name again?
Lance.
Lance, got it.
And they have, get this, 2 miniature fans at their checkout.
Okay.
And they are so excited to tell you and the world about them.
Okay.
They cannot get enough of the fact that they have not one, but 2 fans pointed at them at their checkout. One of them doesn't work, but that's okay. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because he's got a second one that does.
Did you encounter this person today?
I encountered this person today.
Like in between the last time I talked to you today and now?
Yes, I went grocery shopping and I met someone named Lance, and guess what? At their checkout, they had 2 fans going.
They were
very
two
excited
fans.
to tell me.
And let me
2
guess.
whole fans.
Let me guess. One of them didn't work.
One of them didn't work, but hey, you know what? That's all right.
That's
you want to know why?
Because they got a second one.
Because there was a backup fan, and that one did work.
Lance doesn't sound like that bad of a person.
I'm not saying Lance is a bad dude. I'm saying that Lance is a dude who has 2 fans.
True.
And he's very excited about them.
This is true. You can't debate that, right? That's like a fact.
When I was checking out with Lance, who by the way had 2 fans at his checkout.
Yeah.
I had 2 cases of Coke, and do you know what he said?
What?
You got 2 cases of Coke. That's
just like I got 2 fans.
I have fans.
Did he really say that?
Yes.
Was this after the 2 fans were already mentioned?
He was holding the 2 fans aloft. I could see them in hand.
Give me like a play-by-play of like your encounter with this man.
Oh Christ! It all happened so fast. I don't know if I could do like a direct.
I'm sorry.
Rewind.
I don't want to bring up trauma for you.
Post-Lance stress syndrome.
Yeah, I mean, if it's too stressful to talk about.
So me and Aaron, we went grocery shopping today.
Yep.
Got a bunch of shit. I got some spicy nacho Pringles, and then also the rest of the groceries. 2 cases of Coke, 0. I should also specify.
Oh, I know.
And we're at the we go to the checkout, and there's a person waving us down.
Yep.
And he doesn't say it out loud. He says something, I can't quite hear him, but I'm pretty sure he's mouthing like, I got you. And as we're approaching his checkout, he's he's not holding 2 fans. What he's doing is, because there's like plexiglass around his booth, he's like moving the plexiglass back and forth to fan himself off.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cashier from the lane over is closing their till and hands Lance, get this, 2 fans. And Lance holds them aloft like he has found 2 ancient artifices.
So these weren't just Lance's fans.
These were communal fans, but at the moment, they did belong to Lance.
Right, but it wasn't like they're his fans only, like it was his station. These are just
They're not his fans, but they were within his possession.
You want to know?
Same way
I'm gonna guess that this guy was so happy to have 2 fans because they're probably constantly working in heat and they have to pass around these fans so that anybody can have them.
This isn't a grocery store. Like, it's fairly cool in there. But maybe the plexiglass, like, containment makes things rough for them.
Well, just being a cashier, like, sucks. Like, you're moving a lot.
Oh, for sure. And Lance is holding them aloft, like 2 artifices.
Right.
From ancient kingdoms long past.
Of course.
And he says to me and Aaron, I've got 2 fans.
So that is when you get to this guy, that's the first thing that's said out of either of you?
I've got 2 fans.
like
Followed
that
up by...
doesn't even say hello, like, or how are you first, like...
Followed up by... Lance has 2 fans.
He said that out loud, like in third person.
And I see on his shirt, he's got a name tag, and it says Lance.
He said out loud, Lance has 2 fans.
Lance has 2 fans. And as he's like checking us out, like he's sliding like the fruits and the veg and the breads and the meats,
right?
Like over the skinny beep. One of the fans is going, with the other one like in between, moving things along, because we're the only person like at this line at the checkout. So we're not in a rush. Lance isn't in a rush.
He's Lance and he has 2 fans. Obviously, he's not.
He's
in a
Lance.
rush.
He's got 2 fans. He's got 1 fan going, but he can't start the other one. It's not turning on, and he's like looking at the battery. The thing has 2 batteries. There's no like back panel to it. These aren't like big fans. These are like stand-up fans you would put on like an end table or a desk or whatever. And they're battery powered. And he's trying to start it, and he looks at me and he says, This fan's not going.
Are you like waiting for him to like scan your stuff like while this is happening, or?
No, he's doing this between the motions, right?
Okay.
He has proficiency as a cashier.
Right.
So like as he's moving things along, like he's scanning a bunch of things.
I'm just curious if this is before, in the middle of, or after he's scanned your stuff.
It's like during.
Okay.
And he's proficient as a cashier, so like he's scanning things, waiting for it to go to down the conveyor belt, which is like automated, and then he's like fiddling with the fan.
Right.
And at the certain point, halfway between our load of groceries, he looks at me and he says, "This fan's not working, but that's all right. Do you know why?" And I say, "Why is that, Lance?"
Did he like wait for a response from you?
He waited for a response, and you know what? I couldn't leave Lance hanging. I couldn't.
Right, you can't leave him hanging. Absolutely.
I can't leave Lance hanging. And you know, I said, "Well, why is that, Lance?" And he says, "Because I've got 1 fan that works."
Awesome.
And then at the end of it,
Chad, I've worked in retail. I know how this shit works. I'm just curious exactly how I want to get down to the details, exactly what transpired
I
here.
might be embellishing a few things because I can't remember like the entire encounter. Like there was a lot more talk about fans that just sort of went in and out of my brain.
There was more that he said?
Just like talking out loud.
About fans?
About having 2 fans. But you know what? I was so enamored by the sheer charisma of this dude and his fans that like I couldn't contain it all. And we get to the 2. So Coke was on sale, right?
Of course, yeah, that's a crucial detail to this.
The big flat packs.
Right.
So I got 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to lift like both up to the conveyor belt, so I only put like 1 up. And I say to Lance, and like this is the last item in the grocery load.
Just scan
Lance,
it twice, right? Yeah. Because I've got another one in the cart.
Twice,
yeah.
Because I've got 2 flat packs of Coke. And he looks at me and he says, "Just like I've got 2 fans."
Is he like, is there any sort of sign like that he's like fucking with you at all? Like that he's like, he knows this is like silly?
I don't know, because he seemed like he was in a genuine good mood. If he was fucking with me, it was behind such layers of sheer charisma that I didn't give a shit.
Let me ask, how old did it appear that Lance was?
He just looked like a dude in high school.
Really? This is a young guy. Because like this whole story, I've been imagining Lance is like a 60-year-old guy.
No, young guy.
That's nuts. That's insane.
Hey, when you're a kid and you've got 2 fans, world's your oyster.
Yeah,
doesn't even matter if one of them's not working.
Like, I'm not like this sounds like a old man story. Doesn't it? And, like, as you tell it, does it not sound like that?
As an outsider looking in, maybe, but I was looking at Lance, and kid looked like he was in either early college or late high school.
Awesome. Awesome. Did he mention his fan again after that at all?
I think I was in a fugue state after that. I think as I was getting away from Lance, I could feel the weight of the world crushing me. So I can't recall what happenstances occurred after the checkout.
Like, the person I'm imagining in my mind's eye is my, like, 65-year-old coworker, Randall, who I worked with at Ace Hardware. Who would be very excited to have 2 fans and would let everyone know.
Hey, Lances come in all shapes and sizes.
Come.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This feels like an old soul kind of story here, you know?
Maybe they were. Maybe they have reincarnated as a hip teen named Lance with 2 fans.
I miss you, Randall, but it's good to know that your spirit is still in the universe.